summer that's beginning, we all know what's gonna, bring to us. Obviously, so I just want to start off with saying, like, in general, so if you cannot find Jason or I, for whatever it is, Steph is your bar lead. So if it pertains to bar or that is my theme song. I usually send her everything you say. One step closer. And Lincoln Park is everything you say. She said the theme song because she was waiting. Okay, so if it pertains to the bar, making drinks, anything to that, or like the music, that's stuff. If any server needs anything and they can't find us, needs discounts, has an upset table, whatever it is, that's Katie. In the kitchen, if I'm not, or Jason's not there, ask Caleb. Okay, so those are the leads for wherever you are. If you can't make it in, whatever it is. So if you're a server, you go to Katie. Bar goes to your friend.
So if we can't come in, let's text Katie instead of you.
If you can't get a hold of Jason or I, yeah, and or every she should be on copy, because she's gonna be managing the schedule eventually and helping Jason to put it in there. That's gonna be her thing. But on that note, if you can't make it in, we are starting a new thing that I know for those of you who've been here. We didn't do it last summer, but you can't just call off. Okay? That's normal working world things. You get someone to cover for you, at least, show every option of what you did, and then you have to talk to us, to somebody, and or, it just might not be acceptable, and it is what it is. There's no more no-call, no-shows, or whatever. I have a sniffle. Okay, come here. Put a mask on. But, also with being late, we're going to be keeping track of that, because we've got a little lackadaisical, every couple of months it'll fall off. It's not like we want to do it, but it's we all know that there are people that are late often. That's just not the way it's gonna work. Also, when you are the 4 o'clock or 3 o'clock shift, when those people come in, we are not going to just automatically transfer everything to the first person that walks in, and or really anything. If it's your table, see it out, unless they literally just got sat, because then what happens, if Alyssa's first in, then she gets 8 tables off the rip, and then people are still walking in, still getting sat, it's not conducive, not going to work out well, right? So, own your tables, and then when it's time to go, we're going to get much more stringent on the fact that we're actually doing our outwork. We're not going to save it for the next morning. That goes for the whole restaurant. We all do that because we all work, usually the nights to the days. So you can just do it in the morning. That's not what we're doing. Things. The way that this place gets in the summer, how it gets. If things aren't clean, if things aren't done right, we're gonna have bugs. We're gonna have everything else under the sun, and it's just not the way. It's not fair to put on the next day shift. Okay. If there is somebody, or something happening where it's continually happening, go to Katie or us to, so we can address it and, make that happen the right way. Because, it just gets everyone frustrated, so we just want to kind of nip that in the bud. If anyone posts anything on social media that talks negatively of anyone at the trail yard or itself, we all, that is not going to go well. That'll be an immediate, departure from the trail yard. But just with the way social media is these days, just something we wanted to just touch base on because, we just want to nip that in the bud as well. Uniforms. Sorry guys, I just have the list I've got to go through. Uniforms. Gym shoes, which I'll get to in a second, but our skirt or our shorts have to be fingertip length. For everybody I know but, right, we don't want to see any booties or the other ones. Right, yes, not a couple. Right.
So this is the rail yard.
Right, yeah. After hours, do what you'd like. Okay. So, then with our shoes, we should all be wearing non-slip shoes, right? any accident happens, like that's something we have to have covered. There is like non-slip spray that you can literally get for any of your shoes, but it's just something that, because we're all in the kitchen, we're all going in and out, like it's just something that we should all have. Obviously, like your hair pulled up, your trail yard shirt, and no jean shorts, but any other kind of shorts, you know, as long as, like I say, if they have a pocket and a zipper, it's how you kind of tell that it's work appropriate. They're not spandex or bicycle shorts, which I know you've been pushing for a while, but yeah. So then parking. No more day or night shifts are parking in the lot. Park behind the church is where they like you to park, because really across the street should be overflow for here too. But yeah.
That should be one thing that we shouldn't have to manage anymore.
Yeah.
Most of you guys have been here. Most of you have been here the last summer, so you guys kind of know what the deal is. But it seems like every day I still have to go through and like find 2 or 3 people that are still parking in the parking lot. It's just one thing that we shouldn't have to manage.
Right.
So moving forward,
Parking.
park where we're supposed to park.
Right. I mean, if Jason and I are parking not in here, like no one should be. Obviously, Steph has her foot thing, and she technically has a handicap. So she said, "Do you want me to put that on?" Steph's setting up time with the bartenders. We're going to train on drinks, so there's continuity. It should come in the same glasses, all that stuff. So like that should get simpler for those of us that are, you know, seeing stuff in different, you know what I mean? That's just really on the person. I know how that goes.
Just one good thing to touch on with the bar. Starting 2 weeks ago, we have an outside company that is doing our liquor inventory now. Okay, so anytime we're missing stuff, anytime stuff is getting. One thing that I did notice a little bit, which is just a matter of tightening up communication behind the bar, is we're double making tickets that come through. I thought I got it. No, I already got it. Well, now that's that stuff that's not being accounted for. That the outside company comes in, they weigh bottles, they weigh kegs, and then they send us a report of what we're missing. So it's important to make sure that we're doing everything that we can. If we ring in a wrong drink, we need to ring in the right drink and then comp the wrong drink. So mistakes happen. We get that, you know. And like I said with the bartenders too, if we break a bottle, we need to know, because I need to be able to, like when he sends me the report, like, oh, we're missing half a bottle of Beefeaters. Okay, broke a bottle of Beefeaters because we're still like throwing out. He hates Beefeaters, so. But again, if I can justify it, obviously, you know, but if I don't know that it's happening, so, you know, I
Can't fix what you don't know.
yeah, and at the end of the day, because I'm the one that's dealing with them directly, I'm the one that needs to know. So if we tell one of the managers, we need to make sure that they're leaving a note, and that I need to, you know, I need all the information I can to make that number as accurate as possible.
And Cam, if you guys are really busy, like save the ticket at least. Like if they double ring it in or something, that way at the end of the day you can like say to me, like, or whoever's closing, like, hey, this is what happened here, here, and here. It doesn't have to be right in that moment, but we have to just account for it at some point. And thinking of last summer, I know there were certain like bottles that would get like fruit flies in it, and you guys would just like set them down, and or not fruit flies, but you know what I'm talking about, all those little guys. So like if something like that happens, we can't just throw that away. We have to like account for it, that kind of stuff.
What? I said that was different from last summer. Who's all the people that can comp our like drinks?
Katie.
Okay, so we should-
Katie, me, or Jason is who the server should be going to. Bar, Stephanie, if you guys need something. Obviously, if Stephanie's closing at night, you can go to her as well. But we got to try to get it, especially with how busy things get, to keep it, you know, kind of cohesive. Because Steph has all the bar that she has to go to and entertainment. So like, we need to like let her own that. You know, let Stephanie or let Katie own serving. So we just got to get in that, you know, pattern, right? Just got to get used to it. So in probably a week or two, we're gonna have our new menus printed. we just did the last round, so it probably should be like a week, right? Nothing changed in the sense of we're adding or taking away anything. We, because of the way product costs is right now, we've had to like make some of our costs go up, you know, like just the standard, what pricing of what it is. And also with that, we are, if you substitute like tots or, and again, this isn't implemented till it gets here, but I'm just letting you know, like if you substitute a side, you are going to get upcharged, like in those places when you get a side of tots or something. If you upgrade to a side salad, there'll be an upgrade. That being said, our side salad is going to be, and again, I haven't like still finding the kitchen and stuff, but it's going to be on the second, not the appetizer plate, but the next one where we like put our soups on, and it'll be the spring mix, onion, tomato, crouton cheese, like shredded cheese. So, yeah, so that will go, that'll change. We're gonna be Kenny's working on it, our Cisco rep on the back end, but having an itemized list of all the gluten-free and dairy, whatever the heck it is, so that we can have it to reference because Lord knows. And then, so we'll have that kind of stuff to answer a lot of the questions that were asked around here that we don't myself, obviously. And we have the handhelds now, the 5 handhelds, which I know everyone hears me preach about, but they make all the difference. So 5 people, which Katie will sign, and if she's on here and it's not assigned, 5 of you need to be using the handhelds. It makes all the difference, not just to pay, to put in the order. And again, I know I say this ad nauseum, but the way I explained it, if there's even 5 of you on a shift, you get triple sat, which again is nobody's fault. Like your guys' fault, I get that. And you get triple sat, and you're going up to every single, to take care of everybody. Then you go back to the computer, and then you put all 3 orders in at the same time, right? So if 5 of you are doing that, so that means we're getting 15 orders at a time rather than 5 at a time in a space. Like we did, our sales will be just the same as they are a Saturday to yesterday, but organization can make all the difference in the way it's coming in and, you know, the mental dauntingness of it.
I sent them an email this morning, so hopefully in the next couple days.
And
If you guys are using them, if you guys are using them and you're noticing things, like Alyssa had mentioned to me that you can't modify like vodka drinks, you can't modify the sides. Those are things that again, they're all pre-programmed. It's as simple as them having to reprogram certain things, but when they're downloading, and each one of those tablets or handhelds had to be downloaded with an entirely new menu. So there's going to be some stuff we get missed. So just make sure you bring it to our attention so we can get it taken care of. The other thing that we noticed this weekend, which was interesting, is that two of the handhelds are getting orders for an Indian restaurant. So I don't think that's anything we did. But if you see a weird, just bring it to my attention so I can send it to him. Because whatever, the Indian restaurant probably lost a lot of money this weekend because we were just closing out checks to get them off our screen. So, but listen, I don't live right. Is there an Indian restaurant around here?
Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Sorry
Yeah.
sorry
It was nothing. It was nothing that we had on our menu, so I know it wasn't ours. But if you see little things like that that come up as we go, let me know so I can, because it is as simple as sending Mike an email to figure out what's going on with those things. Yeah, and as far as the handhelds being able to work in the far back right now, we are addressing that as well. We just need to get this thing hooked up here, and I should have somebody here this week to take care of that. But to Jillian's point, I mean, even if we're using them here and in here, it makes a difference. It does make a difference.
There are going to be things, like if there are modifiers, and I know that's annoying that you have to go and get them, but that's like, we understand that, right? Like, it's just like, right. Yeah, no,
We're not open.
Oh, unless he's...
Oh.
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. There's going to be a lot of little nuances like that, but as a whole, and like I know that it's a lot of people, like I was thinking about this yesterday, like saying like it takes them longer to like put it in, right? But you're doing it in front of your table who sees how long it, like, you know, like you're actively with them, so they know that. But what's worse is like to piss off them because it takes a while for you to put it in, or for them to see you take everyone's order, then you to sandbag it, and then it takes an extra hour to get out of the kitchen. First, you know what I'm saying? Like it really does. So it's like, which end do you want to take it from? You know? Yeah. So I'm trying to think. Was there anything else in the new menu? Oh, something I don't know that we realize, which having friends that are vegan, it really is. But like our veggie burgers, our black bean burgers, I mean, they're vegan. They're not just vegetarian. So like, if you ever have that question, I think it's something that we don't upsell, you know, like think about a lot. Also, all like, again, these are just like selling points for you guys, but like if someone talks about like that if something's taken tomorrow or whatnot, like all of our stuff is made fresh to order. We get 3 trucks in a week. Like we don't freeze anything other than like our tots, you know, like our fries, like the side orders. Like all of our chicken is hand breaded to order, like drop to order. Those kind of things, like when people hear that, like it gives you a little bit of wiggle room to take a little extra longer. But yes, like all of our shit's fresh, right? So like that's a good thing. Like if people do say something about the price, like oh well, like with the way, you know, the product chains are going, and I mean right now like just one chicken wing costs us like out of our pocket like $1.08 for one chicken wing. So like the prices have to like change, otherwise we're losing money. Yeah. But yeah, so just harping on those kind of points and at least helps a little bit. So Jason will also have papers that we're gonna sign, or that we should have been when everyone's hired, but just standard like harassment. You know, like what you can and can't say to employee, like that kind of stuff that we all need to sign, which should have been done when we were all hired, but we're doing it now. So not because of anything, but it's something we need to make sure we all do before we leave. And then if anyone is injured on the job for any reason, tell the manager on duty, and then because said manager, us, may forget, because we have a million things going on, like if they don't make you fill out something by the time you leave or give you a piece of paper, a little card that has our information on it that helps to, that you can call workman's comp with, like get it. Because like that's something that you should have like before you leave. I feel like that was pretty much it. Like we've been doing really well. It's just the littlest things can make a huge difference, right? Pre-busing. I know I talk about it all the time, but like you guys, especially like I know last summer we didn't like make people do it, but it helps everybody. Like I told the servers when the first week, like Wilder came up to me and he was like, Jillian, like thank you so much. I'm able to get out of here at 10:15. See my kids before they go to bed. Like he's like, I never used to get out of here before 11:30 because everyone waits till the end, and then so you guys like front of house, like we get all of our stuff cleared, but you get to like then we're just putting it on him at the very end, which he's getting all the kitchen stuff at the same time. But it didn't dawn on me until he said that to me. I was like, oh my gosh, like pre-busing helps it. But yeah, so like just really make sure we're pre-busing, and
one thing that really is a pet peeve of mine, I had a conversation with Morgan about it yesterday. One thing that annoys me is when I go to a table to get it reset and the check is gone, but everything else is still on the table.
There.
So, you know, there's no reason why every time you leave a table, you can't take it out.
Take something.
I mean, it shouldn't take 5
Yes,
trips to
yes.
the dish room to bust one table.
Right.
So, you know, when I see stuff like that, that just tells me that, you know, we're just going to leave it.
Yeah.
We don't want to get sad. We don't want to turn it over.
Right.
I mean, that's just not going to fly. We need to make sure, and on the days that we do have a buster, I know there's a sign up there, and we've been good with it so far, that we're tipping out our busters 1% of our sales.
And that also, like, when we have a buster, does not mean, oh, we don't have to pre-bus because we have a buster. That's still only one buster. You know, like, you still should be taking my stuff, and your customers will be happier. Like, think about when you go to a restaurant. I don't like to sit around. I know I'm special, but I don't like to sit around on my garbage or, like, see a bunch of stacks of stuff. Like, or look at it from somebody else. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I think, yeah, I'm trying to think. I think we covered it all, but really will like change in the sense of like we got really lackadaisical with calling off, and or just like, and it's like an hour before, like, oh, or in the middle of a shift. Oh, I had this to do. No, we don't get to do that. Like we don't do that to you guys. Pending obvious deaths in the family, like, obviously, like Steph and I've had a weekend, but I'm just saying in general, we don't practice that way. Like we're here, you know what I mean? Just get it covered. Like you see it, we all know how busy we are. Like when one person's down, like that's a big deal. It's hard to do. You're pulling it from here, pulling it from there. And that being said, thank you everyone who has stepped up and like gone to different hosting or bar or like, you know, Ryan killed it on service call, like now they want him on service call all the time, you know, like it's awesome that, you know, people are stepping up and, you know, doing what they need to do. Dishing, like I came in the day and like everyone been doing dish all day on Saturday, like that's a hard thing to do, but yet we're doing it. And it's like there was no dishes stacked up for when the new disher came in, and you know what I mean, it just goes a long way. So I appreciate that. I don't think there's anything else really. It's just more or less, you know, as we get this busy time, trying to manage the people of like going to like outlets if you can't find Jason, because again, we're only 2 people, you know. So
As far as the calling out thing too, the app is going to help out a lot with that. If you
the calling out.
need it, yeah, you can release your shift and on the app, as you know, find somebody that wants to pick it up. There's more things that we can do other than just saying, "Oh, I'm not going in today."
Right. And or it's just like not an acceptable attitude. Like, you know how many days I've been out? Like, just like if you do that, like you're not gonna have shifts like that. That's scary. Like, everyone makes enough here, like, to be held accountable, right? So, sorry, I was trying to look up this freaking comprehension zone. I don't really know what happened. But yeah. Oh my gosh, a place that doesn't carry out.
What's the name of that?
Papa John's?
Oh,
I know. First shift, or my
Find my
Find
shift.
my
shift.
Find my shift.
What do I do about this, guys?
What?
Oh, your Papa John's?
Call Papa and tell me he's good.